Goddamn kid wants ice skates. It's Halloween. Who needs ice skates? Look at the fuck is this? Ink ribbon. The fuck is? Who do we need ink ribbon? Zombie! Ah! What the fuck?
Resident Evil 2. Now that's a game worth talking about.
Capcom's Resident Evil 2 Remake encompasses everything that a remake should be. It reminds you of a world you thought you once explored before, like revisiting your childhood, but through the eyes of an adult. Capcom's Resident Evil 2 Remake is an amazing spectacle to behold. As teenagers, we remember when this survival horror game hit the shelves. Our appetite was whet and famished for another slab of zombie-killing, puzzle-solving action. Back in the late 90s, video games went from having hand-drawn, pixelated sprites to having full polygonal graphics, sometimes utilizing fully rendered backgrounds. Resident Evil was part of this trend, and because of the primitive development in 3D graphics, Resident Evil 2 doesn't look as polished as it once did. After loading up the game, you control Leon Kennedy, a rookie police officer who picked the worst day to start his career as a officer of the law. Or you can play as Claire Redfield, who came to Raccoon City to investigate her missing brother Chris Redfield from the original Resident Evil game. Playing either character throws you into a world of pandemonium, where you explore locales such as the Raccoon City Police Station, the underground sewer systems, an orphanage, and the Umbrella Laboratory. Here, the graphics are a wet dream of marvel and suspense. Everything here looks amazing, and the atmosphere completely immerses you. You can tell the developers over at Capcom really wanted to give the fans something back, who were terribly let down by the heavy action of Resident Evil 5 or 6. The character models are well detailed and look cinematic. The enemies you'll find peppered throughout are scary and fleshy. A favorite from the original is back, the Licker, whose methodical movements stop every so often if it hears the faint echoes of footsteps or smells the putrid musk of fear. It's a heart-pumping moment that raises the stakes on survival. The hounds are back, and once introduced in the parking garage section, will have you paranoid to even open up any doors to proceed further. In the sewers, you have to deal with what looks like a walking tumor, spewing pus and poison from every orifice once you run into one. You'll wish you never did. This time around, your undead foes don't go down so easy. Usually acting like a sponge to absorb multiple headshots, you might put 5 to 6 bullets into the brain, but they'll keep getting back up. Sometimes you might catch yourself asking the question, why won't you fucking die? Even though there are limited zombie models represented here, it doesn't take you out of the game. Haven't seen the same construction worker or police zombie 100 times before. There is just enough variety to keep things interesting. Missing are the tank controls that weighed down gameplay and made evading zombie ambushes a headache. Aiming your weapon is no issue in this game. Targeting is always tense, but easy enough to manage, especially with the given assisted difficulty for newcomers to the series. It plays just like Resident Evil should, with ultra-tense moments of escaping the undead, trying to stay quiet, or exploring some extraordinary places in Raccoon City. Solving puzzles to advance further into the depths of an investigation into why the dead have infested this metropolis. One of the most tense portions of the game starts with the introduction of Tyrant, aka Mr. X. He will be a thorn launching himself in your side at many twists and turns in the game. Every time you think you've outmaneuvered or have taken him down, he always seems to materialize later down the line. Just like horror cinema greats Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers. He'll pop up at random points in the game and forces you to think on your feet. If you fire your weapon too much, he'll hear you and won't think twice about tracking you down. One way to minimize your encounters with Mr. X can be to use your knife on regular enemies. Just like in the original, you're given a knife as a secondary weapon. You can use it to save on bullets, but even here you must really think before using it. Your knife, even though silent, will break after repeated usage. You'll find quite a few locked safes and drawers that you'll have to find the lock combinations to access, and even a few small portable safes that we thought were annoying as hell to solve. There are plenty of items to find as well. Weapons upgrades for more extreme firepower, and of course, more than enough ammunition to make sure you make it through until completion, as long as you use competent judgment to do so. And judgment here is huge. It's intense when walking down narrow corridors and being faced with the challenge to either shoot a zombie dead, or maybe you should shoot them in the legs, wounding them, and allowing you to sneak past them. Evading enemies is also key to your survival in this game. When finding your way through the Raccoon City Police Department, you'll notice an environment in which you are never safe. Ground level windows quickly can be broken and become an instant access for bloodthirsty undead on the other side. Throughout, you'll find wooden boards you can use to reinforce the windows to lessen the chances of another ambush. After completing the main A campaigns for Claire and Leon, you unlock the ability to play the B campaigns, which fill in the holes of the plot that are happening with the other character during the A campaigns. Seeing this again in a new game really fleshes out the story and tries its best to answer any questions that are left unanswered. After your first completion, even though it might not answer everything or even make sense sometimes, it is a great way to add to the story and lengthen gameplay. Overall, the Resident Evil 2 remake brings the series back to the glory it had in its heyday. And sure, Resident Evil 7 was a scary, atmospheric experiment in the first person, but Resident Evil 2, the remake, reminds you of the series' roots. It takes what made the remake of the first Resident Evil so good and so fun, and it gives it an autopsy, where it keeps the organs intact, but dresses it in a brand new suit, cosmetically giving it a facelift, so no one can see the damage done to the series from certain previous installments we won't talk about, and presents itself as a modern masterpiece that you can squeeze hours of fun out of. Just check out some of the DLC. There isn't a lot to damn or condemn from this title. Almost everything is perfect, and it's very clear that this game was made with love for the fans in mind. And because of this, we're giving it a 10 out of 10 on the Schmuck scale. A perfect score for a game with a history that's so beloved by horror and gaming enthusiasts. It will be a work of art that will become the standard for future releases of the Resident Evil franchise. This game is downright bloody disgusting. I know both of us here at Two Schmucks can't wait until Capcom releases their updated take on Resident Evil 3. So with that being said, you can find Two Schmucks on YouTube. Please like and subscribe and join our Grand Falloon. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram under 2_Schmucks. Thank you for watching. This has been our review on Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Emily, it's not blue, and it's past me. Emily.